About being liked. Someone recently told me that a person whom we both know does not like me. And I can understand why they didn't, because they disrespected me and they crossed certain boundaries, and I had to lay it out like, this is my boundary. They continue to go past it, and so I had to go further in regards to setting my boundary. And that was also a lesson for me. And so they were like, yeah, they don't like you. So, the person will be cordial, but they don't like me. Okay, that's totally fine. You don't have to like me. I'm not on the planet to be liked. I'm not on the planet, to appease people. My mission here is a healing mission. And furthermore, I would rather be respected than liked. So, someone saying they don't like me, okay, it is what it is. I would much rather be respected than liked. To like is like, oh, you prefer that person. Like is an emotion. You like someone one day and not like them the next. There's relatives that do not like me, at least at some certain times. They just don't like me, but they still love and respect me. There's people that I don't necessarily like, but I have respect for. You see what I'm saying? It's when you start losing respect that the issue comes in, when people don't respect you. And in that instance, and with a lot of people out here, it's like, if you don't have a boundary or if you don't set a boundary or make your boundary known, people will disrespect you. They'll have no respect. And so there's people who have, looked at me and assumed that because I articulate myself well, that they can, treat me all kinds of ways and, whatever else, or because of the way I look, that they can, treat me certain type of ways or make assumptions about me. And then it's like, when they get to know a little bit, then they're like, oh wow, they're surprised. Or, if they violated boundaries, and they're upset because I've had to make that known. But like, I don't care about being liked. Like, if I cared about being liked, I would be the stereotypical cookie cutter, whatever you see on television. I'm not an entertainer. I'm not here to, make you just whatever. I'm here to complete my mission on this planet. And that does not involve people liking me, because you will like somebody one minute and you won't like them the next. But is the love there? Or is the respect there? And this is why I say I would much rather be respected than liked. People who are respected are definitely not going to be liked all the time. It's just not. Because one thing I've noticed is that so many people have lost a sense of morality and respect in general. I mean, the society has become very degenerate. The society in the United States has become extremely degenerate. And so, I don't behave in ways that the, popular, or dominant society would like. I don't agree with everything that's like in the media, and I'm not even just talking about politics, even before politics, even before the new administration came into play. I do not agree with a lot of pop culture, whatever people want to call it. It's just not me. But, you're not going to be liked all the time. So get out of wanting to be liked, because if you want so much to be liked, that means it's something within yourself that is not settled. Perhaps you haven't found yourself yet, and you're looking for yourself. And so you're looking for that approval from those outside of yourself. Or maybe you were demonized for being yourself, you know, whether it was by a religion or whether it was by your family or whether it was by, you know, people in society, maybe your teacher or whatever. You know what I mean? Maybe it was by your spouse, you know, who knows? But when you care so much to be liked, you will be unsatisfied with who you are in life. Because all you will do is navigate based on what other people like. And again, people don't like the same stuff all the time. I may like, you know, an apple one day, but you know, the next day I want an orange or something. You know, you're not gonna always like things. So being liked is neither here nor there. What it will do is probably cause mental illness, because you're trying to please everybody, and you can't do that because everybody's not the same. Everybody has different likes, dislikes, desires, you know, whatever else. So to the people who dislike, you know, me, okay, fine. If you feel like that's gonna make you feel better, if you feel like, you know, you feel fulfilled as a person because you dislike me, fine. You know, that's your thing. I'm not worried about it. I don't spend my time disliking, you know, I don't spend my time worrying about who dislikes me. I just don't. I've got better things to do with my time. And I feel like people who spend energy on that type of just like low vibrational stuff, that's where they're vibing, you know what I mean? And I think people who do that need to do a lot of like soul searching, because the fact that you dislike or hate somebody so much, you've invested a lot of time and energy into something that you could have placed somewhere else. So that's that. You know what I mean? So don't get caught up in who likes and who dislikes you. And I know it's easy, especially if you're like a teenager, it's easy to get caught up in that stuff because you're at school, you know, you want people to like you, want a little friend group or whatever. But honey, no, there's a lot of people who give in to peer pressure and have lost their lives to it. You know what I mean? Like, and adults do the same thing. Adults do the same thing. Because people want to be like, why? Because people need love. That's really what it is. You need love and you haven't found it within yourself. And so you're looking so much to be liked by other people. Like yourself first. And then that like can grow into love. And when you love yourself, you don't give a damn who likes you. You just don't. You know, when you have a healthy relationship with yourself, when you care about yourself, you don't care who likes you. You know, you may be like, you know, but it's not your main focus. You may be like, oh, why don't they like, you know, but it's not your main focus. And that's my thing, you know. Love yourself and you won't care, you know, like who likes you, who dislikes you won't be at the top of your list. You know, I could smile in the faces and say hi to the people who dislike me and it not faze me one bit. It's not that I'm trying to do it from a, you know, vindictive or like asshole, you know, position where I'm trying to be mean or whatever. No, I don't have any ill will towards anybody. I don't operate like that. I don't operate that on that low of a frequency. You know what I mean? Like, so I'm not sitting here plotting on how to do evil to people and how to harm people and how to do all that. So if you dislike me, that's your issue. That's not my issue. You know? And a lot of times too, it's usually because I've set a boundary and because I've began to stand firm on my boundary. You know, and I think as women, especially women of color, we have been so conditioned to make it to where others are comfortable, to serve others. You know what I mean? But when I, you know, in my journey have grown, you know, have learned certain things, you know, have learned who I am and things of that nature, then it's like I'm not worried about like who likes me or who doesn't like me or, you know, whatever else. Because I know who I am, one. And two, my focus is on my life, my mission, my goals, you know, what I was placed on this planet to do. You know, so I'm not worried about who likes me, and I don't think you should either. I think you should learn to love and like yourself. Acknowledge those moments when you don't like yourself and keep it moving. You know, always work on you. And if you don't know who you are, spend more time on that, not on whether somebody likes you or not. Like, it's just dumb. Have a good day, y'all.